Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin, recorded live for you here in the studio. Today is, of course, Thursday, November the 7th, 2019, foul year of our Lord. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from, and whether you are watching us from across the YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, or, of course, on Roku with the Investor News Channel app. If you would like to support the show, make sure to subscribe, follow, share, and engage in the live chat, guys. We've got a fantastic show for you today. Of course, today's episode is brought to you by the Premium Trading Group. If you are a new, experienced, or aspiring trader who would like to work with a team with a proven track record who deal with systems trading algorithms, if you would like to learn how to build your own trading system, and whether your goal is to be a full-time professional trader like our team, if you would like to begin your first steps toward financial freedom, make sure to check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com and join us on this journey to never clock back into work. Guys, we've got a great show. And by great show, I mean, we're going to talk about so much stuff. So much stuff. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys so much. We've got, honestly, as I am prone to do, moving the setup around a little bit in the studio. Hopefully you guys kind of like what's going on here. I do have the charts behind me. This is the other side of the studio that you guys don't often get to see. I'm trying to take advantage of the natural lighting that we do have in here as we make some changes. We've got some new equipment coming in, so you guys will be seeing some updates over the next week or so. So stay tuned. If you guys have any suggestions, anything that you guys would like to see fill this wall, which will be getting filled up over the next week or so, make sure to let me know in Discord or give us an email, contact@crackingcryptocurrency.com. All right, guys, let's not waste any time, and let's start off today, as we are prone to do, by giving away some cryptocurrency. So I want to thank this month's crypto comment giveaway sponsor, Spectre Security Coin. Make sure to check them out at spectresecurity.io. Yesterday's show was absolutely fantastic. If you didn't get a chance to check out yesterday's show, I highly recommend that you go do that. We talked about, honestly, we broke down the I would say irrational exuberance over the fact of Asia doing so much blockchain adoption and the impact that it might have on us. We ended up kind of getting to the, I don't want to say into the weeds. It was a great conversation toward the end of the show. So make sure to go check out the last half hour or so. We ended up talking, I don't want to say we had a debate, but we ended up having a good discussion on, the merits of, I would say based on everything we talked about with Asia and blockchain, we talked about the merits of adoption and the price that we might have to pay in the realm of privacy and security. So without further ado, let's hop right into the live scene and give away some crypto, guys. And bear with me as I might have to resize the screen, as I thought I would. Yes, I am going to have to resize the screen right here. Just one moment as I do that. Thank you guys for your patience. Let me know how you guys are doing in the chat. And perfection, I do believe. Yes, that is just about as close to perfection as I think we can get. Yeah, okay. So yesterday's video, Asia will lead the blockchain revolution, but at what cost? Bitcoin mining ban explored and live BTC. Randomly picking a winner. I don't think I can win my own crypto comment giveaway, so let's try that again. Wendy, thank you so much for the continued support, my good friend. You know the drill. Make sure to get a hold of me in the Discord and I will tip you some crypto, or simply go to Spectre, that's SPECTRE, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That will take you right to Spectre Security's Discord, and let me know that you've done that and I can tip you directly in the Discord channel. All right, guys, getting into the charts. And here we are. We do have BTC USD pulled up. Let me make sure everything is looking good. Yes, it is. John, how are you doing? AGW, Dark Rico, It's Hard, Mr. Ether. Shout out to you wonderful people. Wally, we've got Jack, we've got JJ, Beach Bum. Good to see you, man. Nothing. I guess the dream one day is to be a beach bum. Ron Legato, of course, and Scrooge McDuck. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much. Okay. So not a whole lot has happened yesterday. We did have a pullback on BTC USD as we are currently experiencing today. Let's go ahead and take the... we'll go ahead and leave the trade qualifying line on for right now, although it's not really germane to what we're talking about. As we talked about yesterday, we did not end up getting that cross to the upside. And I talked about I talked about what I thought was the most likely scenario. I mean, I really talked about two possible scenarios. That was either we're going to get either way. When we talked yesterday, we were not in a long trade on BTC USD. What we were, however, is we were in long trades on the other major dollar pairs, which I think is still justified at this point in time, still in those positions, except for EOS, which I had already taken profit on and moved my stop loss to break even. That has now since come down and hit my break-even stop loss. So I am out of the EOS position with profit. Now, holding the rest of these for the movement to the upside, but as I talked about with BTC in particular, am expecting that move down to 88, 89. You know, I am going to be setting a limit bid at 87 as well, but currently just at 8.8 and 8.9. Basically setting up for a reversal baseline bounce in this situation. The market structure is still bullish. I really do not see a large sell-off at this point in time. I do still think the direction is to the upside. That is exactly where my positions are going to be, as they are with Ethereum and XRP still at this point in time, and the major dollar pairs following Bitcoin to the downside as well. So we talked about this consolidation. We did get another rejection from our order block, our resistant order block that we talked about. And you guys will have to forgive me, because as I was moving the studio around, I didn't have time to put my very large monitor in front of me. I only had time to put my medium-sized monitor in front of me, and it's still a little bit of a distance away, so I can see the chart very, very well, but the numbers are a little bit harder for me to see. But I know we were talking about 94.27, 96.99. I know those numbers from heart. So that is our current resistant order block. We plotted that back from its genesis over here. Let me see if... Okay, good. That is looking good. We plotted that back from its genesis over here. Right here is where this order block was created. And again, we talked about the similarities between what we're looking at right now as kind of a microcosm of what we saw throughout all of 2017 and 2018, where we have a parabolic movement to the upside, a large sell-off, and then consistent support around. Again, I'm going to compare this 9,000, this around $9,500 level with around $6,000 previously, and you can just see the similarities in the structure as well. What do we have? We have consistent support around a level. We have continual lower highs after a parabolic blow off top, and then we eventually enter into a period of extremely low volatility. So again, here we have that period of extremely low volatility. Here we have that period of extremely low volatility, and that is ended essentially with a large sell-off, a period of accumulation, and then a break to the upside, period of accumulation, and a break to the upside. What was that break to the upside that we experienced in the beginning of April? At the very end of May, it was actually April 1st when we got this large green candle, which broke us out of our accumulation phase. We experienced a lot of sideways motion for about a month, and then off to the races. And that's just how it goes. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. With Bitcoin, it's often 2 steps forward or 2 steps down, consolidation, and then continuation of the dominant trend. And I do believe that we fit that. We had a nice little stop loss hunt in this consolidation area. This movement right here, which in Wyckoff theory one would call a spring, where you have accumulation going on, and then you have a deep dive into demand to basically clear out the last anybody who is attempting to long this, basically to clear out institutional order flow. I would have liked to see a longer wick, but the buying pressure was very high, and you can see again the very large volume spike coming in here in this area. Actually, that's the blow off top on this, but that's actually fine. That doesn't really denote to me a large transference. As I said, if this is a massive stop loss hunt, the third largest price appreciation in Bitcoin's history since its inception, 42% in the space of 48 hours. If this is a massive stop loss hunt, I think that's kind of silly. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. This movement right here, when you have a consistent level of support, and then you have a deep dive down into demand, and then a very volatile movement in the opposite direction, that's a stop loss hunt. This is just bullish. That's just bullish. That is a very strong and clear sign of interested buyers stepping in and buying up. Obviously, there's speculation. You guys know that I don't trade the news, but a lot of people are comparing this movement or correlating this movement with the excitement over President Xi Jinping's announcement that China is going to be far more welcoming to blockchain technology, and that China specifically needs to get on board with the blockchain, basically on the blockchain path. And I think that basically, I don't think that people heard that announcement and went out en masse and bought up Bitcoin. as with all things, you already have active market participants who will use any and all opportunities where retail traders will jump into situations to take price the opposite direction or to excuse their actions. They're always looking for moments to manipulate regular retail traders into making the wrong decisions, because the only way, again, you have to remember that trading is a zero-sum game. You have an opponent in the battlefield. You have an opponent on the other side of the order book. For you to buy at a good price, somebody has to sell at a bad price relatively, and for you to sell at a good price, somebody has to buy at a bad price. So for example, anybody that bought this dip and then was able to sell up here on this wick or anywhere up here in this area, that means that an individual sold their position down here. That was the worst place to sell. And an individual bought up here, right, relatively right now, the worst place to buy. And meanwhile, the savvy trader bought and sold in this direction. Again, I don't believe, as we've talked about many, many times, I do not believe that it is a consistent strategy for, as some other traders promote, to attempt to trade in that fashion. Because you simply don't have one large thing that institutional order flow does have. And again, when we say institutional order flow, we don't necessarily mean institutions like hedge funds. We don't necessarily mean institutions like prop firms. What we do mean is individuals who are large, the colloquial term is whale, large market participants or collusion of market participants who are looking to take the market in certain directions. This is a known phenomenon in all markets. I do not believe, because I've tried it many, many, many times, and I've seen others try it. I've seen thousands of other people try it. I don't think that it's a consistent, profitable strategy for the retail trader. I do believe that the way that I trade, trend following trading using a systems method approach, is the most consistent. And this is why, again, I simply trade as quantitative firms and as hedge funds do. They hire quants, they hire data analysts, they hire data scientists, and they build algorithmic models, and they take advantage of inefficiencies in the market. You need certain things to trade inefficiencies in the market. Inefficiencies in the market, you're going to be talking about arbitrage, you're going to be talking about weakness of the order book, and you're going to be talking about large capital size. So in order to take advantage of those opportunities, you need something that you most likely do not have, which is a large market share. That is an edge in capital. Or excuse me, a edge in equity, or you need a large cash surplus so that you can make very large movements in the market. That is an edge of also equity, but also basically an edge of capital as differentiated. You can either have a lot of Bitcoin or you can have a lot of money, and you can trade generally in this fashion. But however, just having a lot of Bitcoin and having a lot of money does not necessarily mean that you will be making smart decisions. I've seen lots of people come into this market with lots of money and lots of Bitcoin and lose them. And that's because they weren't taking a systemic approach, which is which is always where we begin with in our mentoring. So anyways, having said all that, that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Continued consolidation. We are holding above the baseline. So overall, everything is bullish. Based on what we're seeing right now, the next area of interest, there's only two options to go on here. I am still waiting for Minx to give us the bullish crossover and give me the actual long signal. Commodity channel index is still above zero, meaning that we are still allowed to take bullish trades. And Wadatar explosion has died off with volatility, but keep in mind, we are looking right here for a re-entry trade or a continuation trade. Therefore, we do not actually need Wadatar explosion to do anything for us. Time transformation has crossed back down to the downside. This is exactly when I talked about this, and I talked about this with the other analysts as well. This was one of the things I was concerned about as well. Now, we did bottom above the zero line, which is a bullish sign, but you kind of have two options. When you bottom above the zero line, or when you top below the zero line and directly right around the zero line, you do have a risk of what we call coiling with the Fisher transform, because time transformation is based off the Fisher transform algorithm. You have this danger of coiling, and what coiling is, quite simply, is where in chop, when you have a period of consolidation and you reach kind of a median point, which the zero line is for any centered oscillator, is going to be the median price level. That's what it represents, right? Whereas when price returns to a median, so say you're using the average true range or the Bollinger Bands, for example, to actually do price action median. So this is the average price, or excuse me, this is the median of price, or the mean of price, reversion to the mean. What these indicators are representing, the zero line is representing the mean or the median of that indicator's parameters, right? So Fisher transform is an oscillator that can go, really there's no upper or high or low, but I've never seen it really go beyond +4 and -4, and 0 is the mean. So when price returns to the 0 line of the centered oscillator, that is letting you know that maybe price isn't returning to the mean or the median of price, if you were to add up all the closing prices or open prices or whatever you're calculating the mean or median from. But the Fisher transform, or whatever indicator that you're utilizing, if it's a centered oscillator, is returning to its mean. And sometimes when that can happen, you can get an explosive movement, as in this case, like price moved above the 0 line, meaning we're in bullish territory, which was true. We had bullish price appreciation. We had a cross under and price returned to the 0 line. Then we kicked back off, but we didn't have that explosive movement to the upside. What we continued to see was continued consolidation. So coiling is what the indicator is going to do. Lots of crossovers and cross unders around the territory of the median, letting us know that price is just consolidating. So again, we do continue to take the signals as they come in, because what we will end up having is we'll have several small losses, and then we'll finally get the breakout trade. And once you lose that vigilance, once you lose the patience, essentially, to continue to enter into the positions that your system tells you to enter into, because you've entered into 2 or 3 like small loss or break even trades, you're like, I'll just wait until the actual breakout. But if you do that, if you take that mentality and stop taking the signals that your system gives you, you get complacent and you almost always end up missing the actual movement. And that makes you feel very bitter. That makes you feel very angry. And that can often completely retard your progress that you've made so far in learning to build and trust your trading system and your trading strategy. You need to execute emotionlessly, and you need to execute consistently over and over and over again. And as long as you've done the work, as long as you know that the odds are in your favor, it doesn't matter if you have 10 losing trades or 15 losing trades. It doesn't matter how many losing trades you have, because you've done the work, you've done the research, and you know that the odds are in your favor. And the moment you stop executing because you're having a losing streak, then generally you are going to end up missing the winning streak that follows, because losing streaks or losers are going to be a part of any natural strategy. I've told people this over and over and over again. In all trading arenas, whether you're talking about stocks or whether you're talking about Forex or whether you're talking about crypto, there seems to be this illusion that people have because they are looking at YouTube traders and Twitch traders and crypto Twitter traders or any Twitter trader, and all they see is these people post just their winning trades, and they present this illusion of smoke and mirrors that they are just on top of everything, that they are dominating the market, that they are buying every dip, selling every wick, and that is not reality. Those people are not telling you the truth. Now, granted, everybody who's a trader likes to humble brag or boast a little bit when we have a killer trade. I'm not immune to this either. I've come on the stream multiple times and be like, hey guys, feel really good. I absolutely nailed this trade, made a bunch of money. Awesome. I just want to share that excitement with you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, you guys have been watching the show for a long time. I'll never come on here and be like, yeah, man, like I just never lose a trade. I'm absolutely balling all the time. There are no losers in this strategy. You want to make $1 million in a month, just come and train with me. That's not reality. That's not reality. I do on-the-job training. My goal is to take retail traders, or to take anybody, whether they know nothing about the market or whether they think they know everything about the market, and spit out consistently profitable traders, whether they want to be professionals full-time, whether they want to earn active income on this or passive income on the side, really active income, but over time it becomes passive, or whether they want to just begin taking control of their retirement portfolio, and using trading passively to get a better return than they're going to holding it in an index fund, especially giving them that ability to control their investments, control their long-term portfolio, I think is extremely empowering, and was the first thing that I did. I never gave my money over to a money manager. I've always wanted to control my own funds, and that's done well for me. And I think overall, people who are willing to spend an hour a day managing their investments, they're going to end up doing much, much better, regardless of what happens with the economy, regardless of whether we have a downturn, whether we enter into the roaring 20s, doesn't really matter. Remember that, roaring 20s, guys, coming up. Enter into the roaring 20s next year. Boom, boom, bam. All right. Thanks, Midwest Attempts. I try, my friend. Hey, everyone. So How are losing today? Let's see here. Loop Patient, good afternoon to you, my friend. Perfection, wish my algo was, says Caprica. Well, you can't get perfect, but you can get pretty darn good. Ricky Thompson asks, so did you hear that the European Union wants to follow China and have their own EU coin as they are losing taxes to the underground cash economy? Banks are on board. Yesterday's news. Yeah, we actually, what's interesting is the EU, the European Central Bank was actually talking about, digitizing their currency before this China news came out. We talked about this like a month or two ago. Yeah. Yeah, this is an absolute trend that we're seeing around the world. Central banks and everybody are getting on deck, man. Ken, good to see you, man. No need to feel lonely. You got the entire community, man. We are here for you, brother. So let's hop in after that slight rantiolio, and just talk about a little bit more specifically what we're seeing here. I gotta lean here pretty closely. Price trading around 91.88 here. We are looking at the Bitstamp chart. We haven't cracked any level of support. The support currently coming in at 88.21 in the form of the baseline. That is the 30-period Donchian. And we do have that overhead resistance between 94.27 and 96.99. Now, if we end up crossing and closing a daily candle above 94.27, I will almost assuredly be in a breakout long because I find it very improbable that we will have that level of appreciation of price and Minx not signal a long trade. Once we do end up getting that entry trigger, again, either Minx crossing to the upside or price crossing and closing, violating the order block and closing within it, that will be a very bullish sign to me, and I would be looking to take price up to around 10,600, 10,700 with some stops on the way to scale out my profits. But overall, that is the setup that I am currently looking for. The only other, everything looks bullish to me, but again, I'll trade the way that my system trades. Now, currently, I think it's inappropriate to be looking for a short. Now, it is possible that one could take a short down to that 88, 8,700 fill, but I am not doing that. I just have my limit buys there. I'm looking to take price to the upside. I trade in the direction of the dominant trend. I do not counter trade the dominant trend. It doesn't matter if you end up pulling off a successful trade. The odds are not with you. If you make a habit of doing that, eventually you're going to end up having more losers than winning trades. That is my experience. That is my experience with reversal trading. It just doesn't consistently work. Nobody can consistently call market tops and market bottoms. The only other strategy besides trend following that I am okay with is going to be reversion to the mean strategy, which I think you can turn on after very large periods of, after high periods of volatility. When you have a period of consolidation, I do think that that is a good opportunity to take advantage of the market. I don't think that trading on the daily is the right way to do that. The 4 hour, the 1 hour, I wouldn't really descend any lower than that. Lower than the 1 hour, you are in the territory of algorithmic trading. I don't know anybody, again, who can consistently trade lower time frames for longer than two, because there's 95% of people who are never going to make money that way, lower time frame trading. And then there's 5% of people who can trade that way. And then of that 5%, 95% of those people end up burning out. I want to say, so they don't make it past 2 years. I didn't. When I traded lower time frames, price action trading in the Forex markets, trading for trading all day, every day, trading for a 3 hour block in the morning, trading for a 3 hour block afterwards, it burns you out extremely, extremely quickly. It is psychologically demanding. It is emotionally stressful. And it's very, very easy to make mistakes. You end up not sleeping very well. You end up not eating very well. And it can be a very, very unrewarding lifestyle, in my opinion, especially if you have a family, especially if you're trying to do other things with your time as well. The way that I trade now, I make just as much consistent profit, and I'm able to trade for less than an hour a day, and it's very stress-free and pretty relaxing. Trading is extremely enjoyable to me. I enjoy trading. I enjoy charting. I enjoy doing my technical analysis. I enjoy sitting down every day, disciplined, consistently doing my trades. I absolutely love it. And most traders end up hating trading because I think they're trading in the wrong way. Anyways, we are back within the trade qualifying zone. So anywhere between here and the baseline is going to be a decent, allowable entry point. Again, the best is going to be getting in at that baseline for the reversal baseline bounce, but the territory is okay. We are back within the trade qualifying area, which is pseudo reversion to the mean in a sense, because we are looking to get as low of an entry price as possible at this point in time for the long trade to the upside. Or, as we should be, we are simply waiting for the signal, which the signal in this case, everything is firing positive. The only thing that we need is for Minx to go ahead and give us the go ahead, or whatever primary entry indicator you are using. However, if your primary entry indicator has given you a long signal so far after that first large candle right here, then I think that you need to reconsider your system. Take a little bit of coffee here. We do got Stoke cold brew coffee. Not a sponsor, but could be. Let me take a quick pause for the cause over here and check on our other friends. Thank you guys so much who are watching on Twitch. Thank you guys so much who are watching over there on DLive. I am going to be adding some loot to the chest, and if we can get... I want to say if we can get Forza World TV. Thank you so much for the 1 lemon over there, my brother. And let me scroll back just a little bit. TG, thanks for the follow over there on DLive as well, my friend. Highly appreciated. Oh, by the way, guys. We're going to be doing a pretty big, it's kind of a goal. Like, we've done really, really well over here on YouTube, and honestly, like, I'm just so grateful for you guys, for all the help, for all the support, for all the love, for, just everything that you guys have done. I mean, we couldn't have this community without you. This community is about you. I mean, everybody who is watching right now, I mean, I come here live every day and I just love spending time with you guys. And just thank you so much. We couldn't be growing. We couldn't do the stuff that we're doing. We couldn't have gone out to San Francisco without you guys. And I'm really, really looking forward to it's gonna be a process to edit all the footage, to clip it all together, to sync up all the audio, to make the B-rolls, and to do the intros and the outros. But we are going to be having we are going to be bringing those interviews to you live, because I think, one of the most important things, we often lose sight of the fundamentals. We often lose sight of all the exciting development that's going on here. And I think you guys need to be as informed as possible. Just because we trade off the technicals does not mean that we can't invest based off the fundamentals, or that the fundamentals or understanding them cannot enrich our lives and help us to make better decisions. So I want to bring that information to you. I was very grateful to all the people who were willing to sit down with me and talk to me. It was very, very, very... It was awesome. It was awesome. And that's because of you guys. You guys made that happen. So I want to do, kind of got the psychological number in my head. If we can get to 10,000 subscribers, we're going to do a pretty massive giveaway. I just want to reward you guys and give you guys a lot of thanks. You guys have helped us go from, just over the last year, you guys have helped us go from like less than 1,000 subscribers up to almost 7,000, which is where we're currently sitting right now. So tell your family, tell your friends. If we could get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, we're going to have a pretty massive giveaway. And I just want everybody to benefit from that. I want everybody who possibly can to just be on this journey with us. That's exactly what we're trying to do, man. We're all in this together. We all started from somewhere. I've been doing this for a long time. I've accumulated a strong team over my years of trading, and now we have accumulated a fantastic group of members in the premium trading group who are passionate, excited, learning to trade better, learning to improve their lives, and it's absolutely fantastic. And then we have our live community as well, which is just bursting with individuals who are full of thoughts, intelligence, wisdom. You guys continually challenge me and give me new ideas every single day. So just thank you so much, guys, for being here. Appreciate it. Okay, now just stuff all those emotions back down. Okay. Whew. Wendy2 over on DLive says, how many on DLive for a giveaway? How many people do we got over there on DLive? I think it was 2 the last time I checked. There's 4 over there right now. Let's get 6 more over on DLive, and I'll pop open that chest. Let's get up to 10 people on the DLive, and I will pop open that chest for you guys. All right. Back on track. What time is it? 12:34. Okay, moving right along. We've talked about Bitcoin quite a lot. Let's move on and look at the other majors. Let's go take a look at the altcoin market right now. Today, Tezos having a fairly large movement to the upside based off the news that Coinbase is actually going to allow Coinbase holders of Tezos to stake Tezos and earn interest on their Tezos, which is pretty neat, which is pretty cool. VeChain up about 10%, Bitcoin Gold up a little bit, DX Chain up about 25%, and SNX up about 6.3%. Other than that, for the most part, except for those outliers, well, and Hollow Chain up 4%. So go Hollow, got a bag of Hollow. But besides those outliers, for the most part, it's a fairly red day in the market. Nothing massive, nothing major. No people jumping out of windows. It's not really one of those days, as we've seen many times in cryptocurrency. And again, when things are moving sideways. Honestly, we've just had a few days of boring sideways, and now we've got a small sized red candle to the downside, and most things are naturally following it down again. We've been having pretty bullish appreciation on almost all of our altcoins right now, and now we're just kind of waiting for the reset. So as I said yesterday and last night with my market analysis, not being overly bullish right now, being fairly conservative, trying to pick my positions very carefully, and mostly just right now waiting for Bitcoin to make its next move and the other major dollar pairs, which should be to the upside. Moving on from that, we will go ahead and take a look over at the other ByBit dollar pairs. And ByBit is where I do most of my trading. If you guys would like to trade on ByBit right along with me, there is a link down in the description. That link also gives you $60 as well when you make a deposit. Okay. And what's interesting here is, as we can see, Ethereum, EOS, and XRP, with the exception of XRP having a little bit more significant, actually a pretty gosh darn significant move to the downside on XRP, but EOS and Ethereum as well outperforming Bitcoin to the downside, whereas Bitcoin is holding its value relatively stable, which again I view as positive. We can see the other major dollar pairs selling off a little bit more aggressively. Again, still in bullish territory again, and this is that same phenomena that I've been talking about for a while. There are a couple price action things that I point out. One of them is obviously the breakout price action pattern that I talk about a lot, which is where we have a drive down into demand, we come up to test resistance, we form a higher low that holds above the median of the distance between that low of the drive into demand and the high of the test into resistance. So the median, which is going to be the middle, as long as we hold a higher low above or right around that area, then we go for the breakout. Or then we come back up to resistance. That is kind of the breakout that I look to see. That's a price action looking for breakout and price action. The other one are doji candles after a large move into the downside or large move into the upside. Again, as you can see here, we closed on a doji candle yesterday, and what ended up happening? We ended up reversing. We closed on a doji candle right here after a deep drive down into demand, and we ended up moving to the upside. Now, it's not perfect all the time, but it's often something that you definitely want to be looking out for. I don't know if that's the most fantastic systems approach. It is subjective, but if you are going to add a little bit of subjectivity in your system, that it's something to analyze. I want you guys to go do the research for yourself, but it's definitely something that I try to pay attention to. So let's start off with Ethereum. Ethereum driving back down after, again, rejecting from our resistant order block that we do have again over here. We have our order block of resistance overhead between 191.75 and 193.20. We did end up rejecting from that again for the third time. 1, 2, 3. Actually, this would be the fourth time since the order block was formed, unless you want to say 5 times, which is this right here, this wick right here. Order block is formed right here, again on a doji. Movement to the upside after a steep dive down. We form a doji candle right here. Price moves to the downside. Doji, price moves to the upside. So anyways, so that's just basically where we're at. We were consolidating at this lower level below the median of this range. We had a drive down into demand. Here's that spring that we talked about. Very similarly with Bitcoin, we saw it on all the major dollar pairs. We have a kick up into bullish control zone right here, and now we are simply accumulating, I believe, above in bullish territory right here, above the 30-period Donchian, with consistent volume after a volume spike to the upside. I don't see any volume spike you would need to see a volume spike to the downside, or you need to see some sort of blow off top, very large volume spike to the upside here, which would make price want to reverse. And I just don't see that. I don't see that whatsoever. I see accumulation, I see a spring, Wyckoff theory, and then I see accumulation at a higher price. And again, what we're looking for here is a daily candle close back into 191.75 to 193.20, or an actual break above that level. And once we actually get a break above that level, we'll just be in breakout mode. And again, as I said, Minx will be giving me the signal to go long, I assume, at that point in time, just as it gave me the signal to go long over here on Ethereum USD. Now, other than that, other than that, you know, again, if Ethereum, or excuse me, if Bitcoin ends up driving down into 8.8, 8.7, then Ethereum will most likely follow right here to the 176 area. Again, retesting the baseline before the movement to the upside. Again, that's where I do have my limit bits filled. I don't have, I'm about 50-50 on that, on whether price will go down there or price will end up breaking out before. My bias is to the upside, so I'm really looking for any opportunity at this point in time. EOS as well closed on a doji yesterday and is now moving to the downside, not actually giving us an exit signal. I don't think that we'll actually end up getting one today. So I think that the proper move is, if one is long on Ethereum or EOS, one shouldn't, I don't think it's not appropriate to be long on Bitcoin at this point in time. But if one is long on Ethereum or EOS USD at this point in time, I don't think that exiting right here makes a whole lot of sense. Especially because we haven't actually gotten an exit signal. Let's see what today's daily close looks like, and let's see what tomorrow's daily close looks like, and really tomorrow's daily close, and we can really make a decision based off of that. As it sits right now, this is quite bullish. And yeah, that's about it. It's pretty simple, man. These charts are pretty straightforward and simple. Now, I hadn't plotted one out with Mr. EOS. Because we don't really see it here. It's pretty, I want to say that's fairly tenuous. But we can work with it. Other than that, yeah, this is basically what we're dealing with right now. You know, so very similar to Ethereum, very similar to Bitcoin right now. We are dealing with this order block right here, which was broken down and turned into a bearish breaker. We see a little bit of conversion right here. We do kind of call this swap conversion, where it turns into a bullish breaker and then immediately turns back into a bearish breaker. And again, bearish breaker theory is anything that comes back into the bearish breaker, you would short until you actually close the daily inside of it, which is a violation of the bearish breaker, and a trend flip in which you look to take price to the upside. So again, bearish breaker got sold into right here. But again, we have to also look at price structure. We are holding above the 30-period Donchian. Everything is quite bullish. And again, I'm mostly using, you know, the Bitcoin here as my as another basis for being long. Not only is everything on PTP long, but we also have a huge signal from Bitcoin. Again, with the third largest movement in Bitcoin's price activity, with halving coming up, you can throw all kinds of bullish fundamentals. You can probably throw bearish fundamentals if you want to. But that's a bullish sign, and not from a fundamental reason, not from a subjective reason, from a purely technical perspective. It's bullish. So no music, it'll trigger my anxiety. Silence is good. That is the noise gate. It goes super, super quiet. What do we got? 1244. Der Cryptomeister asks if I can take a... if I can talk about algo and talk about my takeaway from my interview last week. Myself says, started from the border, now we're here. Put a poll on here whether next leg up or up. Is the next leg going to be up or up? Yeah, so Der Cryptomeister, let's take a look at algo. Honestly, I really enjoyed my sit down with Silvio Macaulay. He's the founder of Algorand. Obviously has a high pedigree. He's won a Turing Award. He's responsible for zero knowledge proofs, as well as many other systems that are common in all cryptocurrencies, and many applications of computer science that are just commonly used today. I mean, really high pedigree individual. We didn't really talk about price. Not a lot of these projects wanted to talk about price, which I think they're wrong in doing. There is this. If you take a look at, and I understand why though. If you take a look at, there's two main reasons. Let me explain this. I have a theory on this. If you take a look at boards of directors for securities companies. So we're talking major companies that are publicly traded. So your stocks, your Apples, your Facebooks, your Googles, there are very well understood laws and regulations about like what they can and cannot say in regards to price, but they don't tacitly ignore price. They always talk about making the shareholders happy, which is layman's terms for pump the price up. That's what makes shareholders happy. All shareholders want is to maintain the value of their investment or to see their investment go up. The only thing they don't want is the value of their investment to go down. So when companies and CEOs and public, media relations directors, when they come out and they talk about making the shareholders happy, what they really mean is keeping the stock price here or up. That's all they mean. And, they'll speculate, they'll come out and they'll speculate on CNBC, all these other, CNN. They'll come out and speculate about the value if there's a large movement in the market, in their price. They'll talk about it. And if you look at a lot of crypto projects, with the exception of Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoiners and Bitcoin developers, they will, they'll talk about price. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, you have there seems to be this massive disconnect between developers, between companies, and I'm not specifically talking about Algorand. I really enjoyed my conversation with Silvio. We didn't talk about price or anything like that. We talked about, the ethos of cryptocurrency, why he created Algorand, and what are the problems that he sees in cryptocurrency. I'm really looking forward for you guys to see it. So that's really what we kind of talked about. We talked much less about Algorand, the company, and we talked much more about cryptocurrency broadly and in general in the state of the world. There seems to be this much more massive disconnect between developers and projects and the price of their token or crypto. And I think there's a couple reasons for that. The first reason is there is this how do I put this? There's this ethos or feeling in cryptocurrency, obviously generated by Bitcoin and Satoshi's white paper, that we are creating cryptocurrency to make the world a better place. And it's really only over the last 3 years where we've gotten more and more of this institutionalization and this, kind of ethos of venture capital and bringing products to market and solving customers' problems and blah, 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 blah. Which again, there's nothing wrong with that because that's how free market works. That's how capitalism works. You have individuals who attempt to solve innovative problems with innovative methods, and they attempt to make money from doing that by making people happy. They voluntarily engage in selling solutions to problems, and people voluntarily buy those solutions. Love capitalism. It works. Or love free markets. It works. Oh, dear Lord. But there seems to be this more massive disconnect. So first of all, there's that. You get this a lot from coin developers or projects. They're like, well, we don't want to talk about price. We just want to talk about the fundamentals. Okay. And then the other aspect is that, well, we don't want to talk about price because they're scared because they don't know exactly what they can and cannot say, because the SEC hasn't come out with very clear regulation on what these crypto companies and projects can and cannot say. And they don't know whether or not their project is a security most times or not. And they're not trying to put themselves, especially with a camera in front of their face, in any sort of situation where they might say something that might damage themselves or their company. Totally understand that. But I do think that they take it a little too far, and I do think that they ignore the market and speculators at their own peril, because you have venture capitalists that come in and largely fund these companies, and that's kind of how they operate and build and develop, and that's fine. That's the role of speculators. These investors and early investors, they are taking up highly speculative positions in what companies will fail and will not, because the fundamentals don't really matter. You have there's a very high chance of failure, even if your project is fantastic, because people can have fights, you can employ the wrong people, somebody can build a better competing product. There's all kinds of things that can happen. The market is inherently random. So these early investors are taking highly speculative positions and are essentially funding the development in the coin projects. Same as with IPOs and well, not IPOs, but same with startups and tech firms and all kinds of. That's just how the world works, which is fine. These people need money to eat and live and sleep and support their families and hire employees and build infrastructure and develop these products. That's great. That's how it should go. And those speculators, those early investors, have the opportunity to get heavily rewarded by 100x, 10x, 5x, 20x, 30x gains if they're entering at a very, very, very low price, like very speculative, like we just launched price. And then, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years later, that investment pays off. That's great for them. They end up reaping a massive reward. And that's the goal of the speculators, to take something that they consider valuable now and transport it into the future. And they are rewarded for those efforts with profit. But at some point, they're going to need to either IPO or ICO or attract more investors. And generally what attracts investors is higher price. So I do think that, and I'm trying to make this very clear and understood, and I think maybe I'm one of the very few people who are doing this. I think that these companies ignore price. Not all of them do, because I talked to some projects where they were actively, and this has really impressed me. The companies and the coin projects that I talked to that actually were very concerned about the price of the token, not for the price of the token, but for the token holders. They felt a real, there were not all of them, but some of them felt a very strong commitment to their token holders and the token economics. And those are good projects. Doesn't mean, again, same thing. We run into the same problem with venture capital and investing in these coins in the first place for their startups. Doesn't mean that they're going to succeed, but it does mean that they care. And it does mean that they do things to incentivize individuals to hold the token, which is good fundamentals. It's good token economics. Because remember, this isn't a stock. When you buy a token, you're not investing in the company. You're not going to reap rewards from the company, because just because a company does really well and their token is being used on their platform to do all kinds of neat stuff, doesn't mean the price will go up. There have to be, like, when you invest in a token, it's like buying a commodity, right? Let's say that there is a company out there called Cracking Cryptocurrency Gasoline, and we're selling gasoline, right? So you buy gasoline, okay? If Cracking Cryptocurrency Gasoline does really, really well and we grow really big and we're selling gasoline all over the place, right? That doesn't mean that the value of the gasoline you bought from us is going to go up. Gasoline would have to become more valuable, right? So just with these crypto companies, let's say you buy up a bunch of tokens from XRP. Let's say you buy a bunch of XRP. Okay. So Ripple is crushing it, right? They're getting all sorts of investments and making partnerships, and the price of their token continues to go down. Why? Okay, so some could argue that it's a bear market, that it's just people who are selling, XRP is undervalued, it hasn't seen its use case. I would argue that there's a high probability that XRP's token economics are not good, that there's nothing that Ripple could do except for a highly huge speculative wave of fresh speculation, like retail speculation, which I do think is coming. I think it is going to happen. But it doesn't mean that the token economics lend credence to that token being valuable. I hope you guys understand this, because this is a very important concept. The token that a company offers, the token that a crypto company offers, has almost nothing to do with how well that company performs. The company that made the token as a fundraiser. 95% of all crypto projects release tokens as a fundraising mechanism. That's it. Sorry to say that, but it's true. And that doesn't mean that's bad, because these crypto companies can go on to do great things and you might be rewarded, but you have to think in your head, what are the economics of the token, not the company, because you're not buying shares of the company. There's nothing that the token does not appreciate in price because the company does well. As you can see, direct example with Ripple. Ripple is crushing it, getting partnerships and deals and spreading out all over the place. But the value of XRP is not rising because XRP does not have, in my opinion, good token economics. Like I said, it's just like buying a commodity, right? So if you're buying gasoline from cryptocurrency gasoline company, just because cryptocurrency gasoline company starts crushing it and we're just valuating billions and billions of dollars and bringing in investors, your investment of gasoline is not going up because gasoline did not magically become more valuable. Right? There's no more enhanced use case. Something would have to happen outside of cracking cryptocurrency gasoline, where all of a sudden gasoline is discovered to cure cancer. And now, okay, great. Like, so let's take XRP, for example. Right now it's being used for remittance and bank-to-bank settlements. So let's say that, okay, blah, 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 Ripple continues to crush it. Ripple IPOs, and now, the Ripple company, or R3 Labs, is now listed on the NASDAQ, top 100 company, but the price of XRP is still 28 cents, okay? Blah. Then all of a sudden, Ripple, the company, makes another use case for XRP, which is, hey, by the way, XRP can also now be traded in for medicinal marijuana. All of a sudden, the value of XRP skyrockets. So do you see the difference there? Just because Ripple does well doesn't mean the value of XRP goes up. And people do not seem to understand this in cryptocurrency. They just do not seem to get it. A cryptocurrency token is not an investment in the company. It's a commodity. It's a token, right? So there have to be very specific economics of incentive of the token itself. Nothing to do with the company. You have to evaluate these two things separately. Because Ripple's a great example. Andreessen Horowitz, Google, all of these companies have invested in Ripple, the company, okay? Now, they benefit on their investment when Ripple does well. They don't hold any XRP token. Why would they? Doesn't have good token economics. That doesn't benefit them. They want to benefit because Ripple is a very smart team of great people. Has nothing to do with the value of the XRP token. We're going to take a quick break, guys. When we come back, we are going to talk about Algo, Neo. We're going to look at Neo for Eli Back. We're going to look at, We're going to look at Algo for Der Cryptomeister. We're going to look at Neo for Eli Back. Let me make a list of this so I don't forget. And Eli, thank you so much for the $5 contribution, my good friend. He says, good afternoon, bud. Can you take a look at our Neo coin? Got in under 1090. Thank you. Hell yes, sir. We'll take a look at that as soon as I get back. And I think Mr. Starman Jack wanted me to take a look at THB and Bitcoin Gold F. Love to, man. We'll take a look at all of those. And Midwest Attempts, by the way, that is a fantastic point. If you guys are interested in joining us in the premium group, of course, there is a 1-week free trial. You guys are free to sign up for it. See if it's a right fit for you. See if you enjoy our community. Love to see you in there. If you have any questions, of course, make sure to let us know. Ask us in the chat. You can go into our Discord, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Link in the description. And you're free to ask any of the administrators, any of the moderators, any of the senior analysts, any of the junior analysts, or you can ask any of our premium members. They're all listed there publicly. If you guys want to review, we have a testimonials channel. Again, I don't know anybody that's trying to be as upfront as we are, because again, the difference is we run a legitimate company, and just about everybody else that's trying to do what we're trying to do is a scam. So unfortunately, and that really sucks to be in that industry. But again, I think that's why we are where we are, because people understand that and see that. Try Robinhood when the spreads get stupid and use. By the way, man, Can I explain my strategy for screening qualifying trades? Yeah, I've got like several hours of tutorials on it, but if I get a chance, yes, I can definitely cover it, Ian, my friend. By the way, did you guys hear about Robinhood's infinite money cheat code glitch? So check this out. If you're a Robinhood Gold member, what you could do is you could sell call options, and there was a glitch in the Robinhood trading app when you sold call options, that would incorrectly add to your buying power. Okay, so you could just sell call option, call option, call option, call option, call option, and that would incorrectly add to your buying power. So then you could just go. I mean, literally, there's videos on YouTube, there's posts on Reddit with screenshots of people showing themselves doing this, where they're just selling call options, taking a $3,000 deposit on Robinhood, signing up for Robinhood Gold for free because you get the free trial, and then selling like $1 million worth of call options, and then going and buying $1 million worth of stock for $3,000. That's crazy, man. Huge shout out. By the way, don't do that. Do not do that, by the way. That is illegal. Those people will get in trouble. But that's insane, right? That's nuts. That's Robinhood. Think of all the inefficiencies in the crypto market. Oh my God, I just love being here. We're going to take a quick break, guys. When we come back, all the exciting stuff, all the amazing stuff, all the links in the description for anything you could possibly need in life, except for Dollar Shave Club. Check them out on your own. I use them every single day. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. And we're back, guys. Thank you so much for holding in there for the break. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic, chilling out here for the second hour. If you're just tuning in, make sure to go back and watch the first hour. We broke down Bitcoin and we talked about a lot of stuff. Talked a lot about good stuff. And yes, Wally, I do believe that is a correct use of the word dope. All right, let's do a quick roll call here. 5 people on D Live. Thank you guys so much. If we can just double that number, that chest is going to get cracked and distributed. What's going on? Oki, thank you so much for, what is that? Is that a diamond? Oh my good Lord. Thank you so much for the diamond, my friend. Highly appreciated. You are the best. And what do we got going on over here on Twitch? You guys are killing it over here. Thank you guys so much. Okay. Oh, that's a funny face that I'm making over there. Anyways, let's, and thank you. I think Mr. Ether. Yes, Mr. Ether. Thank you for reminding me about VeChain. So let's do these chart requests real quick, and then we'll get into the news. First up to bat is Algo from Mr. Der Crypto Meister. Let's take a look. Come on. Okay. Okay, so a few interesting things here for Algorand. Obviously, we are looking at Algo on Coinbase. And I want to make sure. Yes. Okay, good. So we are looking at Algo on Coinbase. This was listed back in August 15th, 2019. As we've seen with a lot of listings on Coinbase, generally there's a lot of hype prior to the event, and then those speculators take advantage of the liquidity on Coinbase to take price down, because obviously Algo was trading on other coins prior to being listed on Coinbase. We've had a pronounced period of what looks to be accumulation starting back here in September of 2019. If you look at this on the daily, if you are looking for some sort of confluence, if you are looking at some sort of chart pattern, this does again look like a double bottom with a lower high right here. Let's turn off that magnet mode. But again, here's the two bottoms. We do have fairly equidistant lows, but we are actually holding up a higher low on that end. Often a good sign. And then what do we have? We have a break above the baseline right here, signaling a long trade on all cylinders, crossing above the baseline right here, the 30-period Donchian, Minx giving the signal, CCI going above zero. As you can see, CCI kept you largely out of the accumulation phase, which is good. Not trying to get you into the chop. There wasn't really a lot of opportunity here for trend following trading, and Wadatar explosion did give you some nice volatility. Now, what are we dealing with here? We are going to be dealing with, I would say this is fair. Let's see if we can get a little bit more pinpoint accuracy or confluence with, this is going to be hard for me to see, VPVR. Yeah, I think that is fair. Actually, right here. Right about almost directly where we're at. Sorry, guys, it's a little... I feel like that's fair. Let's actually get rid of that and utilize... This isn't perfect, but it's about all we have here for Mr. Algo. Which is this order block right here. And again, that's fairly confluent with our VPVR right here. As you can see, we have the largest level, we have the largest volume by price traded right here, which we are currently above. We are above the point of control, which is bullish. Let's get rid of VPVR and go back and look. We can also find some confluence between that and our order block right here. This is going to be our highest high, and then we have a break. So this is now a breaker. What are we doing right now? We are retreating back into that breaker. Breaker theory. Anything that retraces back into the breaker territory, which is going to be 25 to 26 cents, let's say. Is going to be a buy. And again, that is also going to be confluent with PTP, reversal, baseline, bounce setups. Resetting the chart and zooming back in here. So price currently trading above that level, 27.51. If you were looking to trade breaker theory, you would be looking to buy anything that retreats back into this range to take price higher. Again, confluent as well with the reversal, baseline, bounce. The baseline coming in right at the bottom of that buy zone right there on algo. And again, we've broken the baseline right here. We've put in a long series trade right here. You can see that we actually did close below the qualifying line, so that would have been cool to take price to the upside, and you would have profited off of this trade. Again, didn't buy the bottom, but you would have bought right here, and you would have taken advantage of this nice trade, and you're set up right here for future trades. I think algo actually looks pretty good. Getting back down below the baseline is where we want to be exiting those positions and just waiting for the reset, which we can see sometimes after a period of accumulation. Kind of like where I say don't buy the first dip. Sometimes you don't want to buy the first breakout. But again, we've had the breakout. We have a pullback back into the zone of breakout, whatever you want to call it. Retest of resistance turn support is how most people are going to call this. I think that's a fairly basic way to look at it. I think that there's good confluence here with VPVR and the order block right here, as well as PTP telling us that everything's good to go. If you're looking for a continuation trade, you don't have one on the table right now. The only way that you would be, again, picking this up is having limit orders set between here and here, attempting to capitalize on the reversal baseline bounce and the retreat back into the breaker. So this is good. I don't think it's really appropriate to look for projections. We don't have any significant zones that I see here on the USD chart, except for just previous highs. Just previous highs is typically how we're going to do something like this. So that would be giving us some targets around 36 cents and 41 cents. So pretty good R to R there, especially for a closure below the baseline. So I mean, really good, fantastic R to R there on algo. And again, whether it happens now or whether it happens eventually, I do think that we have a pretty significant speculative wave coming in. We do have the halvening coming up. I think that is typically what sparks a large inrush of speculative money. Coffee mug filled. Let's do this. And Wayne would like us to look at Zcash. Yes, sir, if I do get the time. I want to make sure that I give all of these good attention. So there we go. And honestly, I don't have extremely strong opinions on algo. It is from a fundamental perspective, it's a layer one protocol. It attempts to, in Silvio's own words, fix some of the fundamental problems that he sees with the Bitcoin protocol. I think I want to keep people focused on Bitcoin. It has the network effect. It has the programming effect. It has the full decentralization that almost none of these other projects have. I think that algo is good. I mean, it is technically good. It is good code. It has a fantastic team programming it and working on it. It is a viable layer one protocol. But you have many very good layer one protocols vying. And I think that as technically good as they all are going to suffer either from their own flaws, or from the fact that they just simply do not have the network effect and widespread adoption that Bitcoin has. Bitcoin has something that none of these other coins have, and that's the fact that it's Bitcoin. The ethos, the mentality. And again, it's not technicals that inspire revolution. It's emotion. And Bitcoin has that. It has the ethos. It has the power. So, we want to be careful when we're speculating on layer one protocols. But again, it's possible that we're going to live in a world where there are many layer one solutions to problems. That is a potential, and that everything will be built off one layer one. So from that perspective, I don't see anything wrong with algo. I don't have any glaring problems with it. It's not fully open source. There is a GitHub repo. You do need permission to clone it, and to the way that Mr. Macaulay described it to me, and to the best of my understanding, you need to essentially ask their permission. And if your goal is to do it open source, then you're fully welcome to clone it. Those were specifically his words. He's like, anybody that wants to clone our repo and is going to do it, use the Algorand protocol open source, totally fine. They can clone it. But he's like, anybody that wants to do it for an enterprise solution, you got to pay us, which makes sense. I totally understand it. A lot of these, again, are proprietary ideas, but that would be the only thing that kind of, from a business perspective, I totally get it. It makes a lot of sense. From a decentralization and freedom perspective, is just one of those things that mildly sticks in my craw, but it could work. Other than that, I have no complaints about Algo. Again, I think I've asked other people who are smarter than code with me. For, the technicals of Algo seem very, very sound. Again, in Algo's own words, fixes some of the problems. It uses a lot of these zero knowledge proofs. It uses what potentially might be a fairer distribution method for its inflationary model. Potentially would avoid some of the problems of centralization of hash power, because it is a unique form of proof of stake that utilizes some game theoreticals and computer science applications to create a more fair system of token distribution and inflation. Or not inflation, I would say, but yeah, inflation is the increase in the monetary supply. So don't have any complaints about Algo. Just again, we're falling into the realm of it's a layer 1 protocol, and we've got hundreds of layer 1 protocols vying to be the next Bitcoin. So from that perspective, it's kind of anyone's game, but no glaring flaws at this point. So. Okay, moving on from Algo, the next request is going to be Neo from Mr. Eli Back. Shout out to the Neo gang right here. Let's look at Neo over on BitMEX is where we're going to default to, but yeah, we'll just go look at Neo on the old BitMEX. Again, very similar to a lot of very similar to almost Litecoin in this perspective. The BTC chart is a little bit more clear. Again, very long, pronounced, drawn-out period of what I would say accumulation. And what happened the last time we had this long, drawn-out period of accumulation, a little bit more choppy. We had a low. We had a big drive down into demand after a huge sell-off, very similar to Bitcoin. And then we ended up forming a higher low, had a period of accumulation, and then rapid price appreciation, consolidation, appreciation. So I think, I think Neo is in a pretty good price area right here. We had this very similar drive down into demand. Here is the exact same price level where we formed that higher low after our deep spike down into demand. Obviously, the fear is if we do start drooping down here below our baseline, below 1007, the fear of returning to this level of support or this level of support is definitely there. Those are order blocks to contend with. The other thing that we do kind of have to deal with is this very long wick right here. I don't know if this was an exchange glitch. I don't know if this was a coordinated pump and dump, which is something that can happen on even the highest liquidity coins. But the problem with this is that if this wasn't some exchange glitch, what this means is that a lot of people bought in this area, and a lot of people have established positions because what happened to price right after that, sold off. So the problem with these are, and Bennett has a very good explanation of this, and I completely agree with him because I've seen this in multiple markets. Because you have so many established buyers here, getting over this is very difficult because you have a lot of established positions here, and any movement up into this area, all of those individuals are going to be looking to sell off their underwater positions, which they've been underwater for quite a while. Not a huge volume spike on that candle, so again, I don't really have a lot of data on that. It's not a massive volume spike like you can see over here, so not actually a lot of coins traded, so potentially an exchange glitch. But moving aside from all of those, we kind of have something that is fairly positive. We have a period of low accumulation, and then we have price appreciation. Again, the long signal on Neo came right here. We have the fully confirmed long signal back here on the 25th of October, led us to 1, 2, 3, 4 beautiful days of price appreciation, and price is largely sideways. So again, this looks very similar to Bitcoin. All the dollar pairs pumped again right around the same time, and they've gone sideways as well. I think the next movement is to the upside. This looks like This looks like accumulation, markup, reaccumulation, and I would expect markup to follow this. This doesn't really look like distribution. It does seem like we have a good level of strong support. Again, we are holding the baseline above 1007. On NEO, we're not actually in the buy zone. The buy zone is going to be below 1085 down to 1007. So anywhere within this range would be good. The lowest possible for the reversal baseline bounce. And that's actually where I'd be at with this. I'd be looking for that reversal baseline bounce to take price higher. Now, NEO actually does give us a little bit more data to go off of. So we have an order block right here. And of course, once we actually enter into a PTP position, we could just simply use Quadriga ATR for our stop and target system. But we have an order block here. And we have one here, which I think represent pretty good upside targets. NEO, again, not here to shill anything, but I do have a position in NEO. It's not a PTP position. It's just a longer term position. But again, that's putting us up toward $13 to $13.30, which would be a good first either last take profit for your PTP trade or a good first take profit for a positional trade, and then all the way up to 1670 to 1691, which I think is, again, represents fantastic R. I mean, we're looking at a 50% increase in price, where we're currently trading at about $10. Again, once we get down below 1007, then you're looking to be out of your position because the threat of retreating back to some of these order blocks or these levels of support are absolutely real. But it does look like this does look to me like we have hit a bottom. We've had a steep dive into demand. Don't see a spring or anything like that. Don't necessarily always need one. But again, a large stance here, a large stance from buyers that they're interested. This is a huge price appreciation. This looks like reaccumulation, and I think the next movement is to the upside. So I would be looking to establish positions anywhere between 1085 and 1007. Reversal baseline bounce, retreat back into the buy zone to take price higher. The other thing that we can look for, obviously, is just a PTP signal. Where are we at? Let's see if we can find... I guess the only thing that we really have right here is, let's see if we can track this back to an order block. Oh my God. Yes, we can. Yes, we actually can. Just depends on how skinny we want to be with it. Let's do that. We do have an order block that was originated right here. Turned into a bearish breaker right here. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. And that's exactly the level of resistance that we rejected from right here. So we've got this overhead resistance over us between 1151 and 1168. What we'd be looking for, either a clean break above that to take price up to about $13.30. Or we're looking to establish the position for the reversal baseline bounce. That would be slightly more of a reversal trade. So if one was able to pick up a position here, one could take it here for an initial TP and here for a final TP potentially. But again, I kind of leave the particular stop and target system to your own system. We use Quadriga. It's very straightforward, very simple, utilizes actual volatility to tell us where to stop out of the trade and where to actually take profit. Send me money and I'll send you some back isn't a systems exploit. It is a gullibility exploit. Amen, brother, to that. Let's check in with DLive. 9 people over on DLive. One more, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. Oki Native. I don't know if that's another diamond, but he asked a question. Do you have a Cracking Crypto series for beginners? We have a Trading Crypto 101 playlist here on our YouTube channel, yt.crackingcryptocurrency.com. I invite you to check that out. And yes, the entire PTP course is designed to teach you, whether you are a new, experienced, or aspiring trader, what to do from the ground up. Because we trade very, very differently than other people trade. We do things in a completely different way. We speak a different language. We talk about indicators in a different way. We build all our systems up statistically, algorithmically. We log all our progress in spreadsheets. And our whole team is designed to just mentor and push people through this process, man. Thank you so much for the other diamond, my friend. He says, I have a friend who is very, very, very new. I'm not gonna... I don't know, and I only speak because I have a lot of conviction in what we're doing. I don't know where I would rather go if I were learning to trade than our community. We have some of the absolute best people. We have some of the most supportive people. We have some of the best mentors. And our community, I mean, honestly, the premium members are fantastic, man. So definitely something to check out. Of course, there's a 7-day trial. I'd love to help anybody out that I possibly can. Terry Elker, or Elker, thank you so much for the subscription over on YouTube. Welcome to the family, my friend. Okay, back over to the requests for Mr. Starman Jack, USD THB and Bitcoin Gold to ETH. Okay, so let's go to THB. into the realm of Forex over here. That's a pretty strong short, man. Right now, today. You've got about 2.5 hours to establish this position. You know, I don't trade a lot of exotics, to be quite honest with you. But this is a short, man. This is a short. Breaking down below the baseline, Minx below the zero line, CCI crossing below the zero line. Or excuse me, Minx crossing below the noise line and below the noise line, CCI crossing below the zero line, and we do have the volatility sensor firing off here on WADA. This is good, man. This is good. Also, we have TT that crossed below the zero line yesterday. This is all systems go for a short trade, man. This is about as clear cut as you see them. Let's go grab some targets. Gonna be looking at. Geez, let me. Tomorrow this won't be an issue. I'll move the monitor a lot closer and reposition the camera a little bit. But let's see if I can see it clearer in the data window. Yeah, I'm just having trouble seeing this, man. I'm sorry. Don't worry, I got this. That's pretty fairly clear cut. 0.0327, 0.0326, 0.0325. TP1, TP2, TP3. So very small liquidity. This is like the low sat coins of the Forex markets, to be quite honest with you, man. But yeah. And then stop loss at 0.0330. You know, to be quite honest with you, this isn't something that I trade. Again, I don't trade exotic FX pairs, but that's a very clean, very objective setup. Very clean, very objective setup. This does look like a break in trend, a very significant break in trend. We haven't seen, in this period of appreciation, we haven't seen the volatility of a sell-off like this. And this is cracking the baseline and everything else that we need. I mean, this is just a very classic, very clear-cut, beautiful PTP short signal today. Good find, man. Good find. And Bitcoin Gold ETH over on Binance. I have a particular, whatever you want to call it, where I don't really like trading Bitcoin clones, Bitcoin forks. Except for with the exception of Bitcoin Cash, I stay away from Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Dark, all of those things, just because they're just not liquid enough to trade. The only reason that they have volatility in the first place is because a lot of people got them for free, and so it's play money for a lot of traders. At least that's how they tend to look at them. But from a purely technical perspective, order block right here that we are attempting to crack above. We did get rejection from it right here, just unable to break above it. If we close where we are today, you could consider that a breakout signal. This actually would be a continuation trade. Again, you have the initial long signal here. Back here on the 2nd of November, you could have taken a long trade and you'd actually be grabbing some profit right now. But you are getting a continuation trade today as well. So let's see where this closes to ETH. Again, you do have this long period of accumulation, and you are now attempting to crack the baseline. Overall, this doesn't look extremely fantastic to me. For a personal reason, I wouldn't trade this, especially to ETH. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm not into the ETH markets. But from a purely technical perspective, this is a continuation trade. 2% risk. 2% risk, maybe 1% risk, depends on how profitable your trading has been. If you're just starting out, which I know that you are, we want to be doing less than 1%. As we become more established and we've forward tested our system longer and longer and longer, we begin raising that level up to where we're taking full risk trades on these setups. So, looking for targets. Oh, great, I get to do this like I can't see the dang chart now. I just can't read those little small numbers. 0.0, I want to say 4920. 0.0517, 0.054. You got Quadrigo, man. Don't let me lead you astray. From current price to TP3, looking at potentially 15% price appreciation. But this means Bitcoin Gold has to outperform Ethereum. And Ethereum has shown a pretty good ability to outperform most assets lately. So take that as you will, my friend. Whoa, hey, we got 18 over there on DLive. Wow, okay, we can do this now. Thank you guys so much for the love. Let's do this. We're going to distribute rewards right now in this chest. Congratulations, guys. Thank you guys so much for the love and the support. Let's get this going. Distributing these rewards to the DLivers over there. Much love, my friend. Tony, thank you so much for the ice cream, my friend over there on DLive. You guys are absolutely fantastic. And you know what I really like over here on DLive? There's like no lag. There's like zero lag. 3 seconds left. And boom, bam. Boom, bam. Casper, thank you for the ice cream as well, my friend. I was promised cat memes along my crypto journey. I am so far not disappointed. Did that not work? Should I try it again? Yeah, you should click the collect rewards pop-up. Let me refresh. Doesn't seem like it distributed the chest. Yeah, let's try it again. Here we go. Okay, it's saying I have to try again a little later. So give me a few minutes, guys, and we will try opening up that chest again. Okay, Nate. Thanks for the cat memes, guys. Just stacking that bread. Of course you should try again several times, over and over. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. Hold on. Yeah, it's still not letting me do it. So just give me like, I'm going to wait like 5 minutes and then we'll see. We'll see what we can do. That's the only cat meme you got? I got this meme. This meme is what it feels like every day waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning to trade on BitMEX. Oh, it's so good. I love you so much, Jason. You're the best human being. Okay, I'm moving right along. Which looks like it has more upside right now, Litecoin or Ethereum? I would say Litecoin. The trade war with China has allegedly ended, so silver is down, the dollar is up. There does tend to be that confluence. Okay, we also have on the request list VeChain and Zcash. Let's pause on those for right now. It is 1:30. I do need to hop into the news. Otherwise, my my production team is going to scream at me. And they scream very loud. And you know what? We're going to let them scream. Because we can largely talk about this stuff tomorrow. It's kind of a slow news day, guys. You know, we really covered the important things yesterday. I mean, the most important thing right now that's going on with cryptocurrency, we have the upcoming halvening, which is a fundamentally bullish thing. It always has been. And then, of course, we also have the China narrative that is kind of unfolding in front of us as we speak. And you know, we talked about the good stuff. This is good for price. You know, this is good for price. It's not there. It's there is a large potential. I am concerned about the cost that we're going to have to pay for privacy, the cost that we're going to have to pay for security, because we are putting this technology in the hands of governments that have shown that they're not motivated or interested in human freedom, liberty, or economic prosperity for their citizens, that they're more interested in control, command, and conquer. By the way, fantastic video game, by the way. Peckham27 says, hey, guys, watched your San Francisco stream and didn't know about DLive till then. It's great, man. I really like... I really enjoyed it. That VeChain after party was dope. Litecoin for the win. Life is a cat meme for me. Trade war with Arthur Hayes allegedly ended, so silver is down, insurance fund is up. You are very welcome, Ricardo Pierce. Can I please explain what do I expect to see on the 19th of December for 2 weeks? You know, I don't really. If you could elaborate on that a little bit more. You know, I'm pretty honest as a trader. I'm pretty honest as a speculator that I can't predict the future. So, do I know what's going to be happening on December 19th? I have no clue. Absolutely no clue. Price could be up, price could be down. I trade my system. Now, I've been doing this long enough that I do have somewhat of a nose for this. And we can look at some things, but largely those things are inappropriate. And the reason I don't talk about a lot of things, the reason I don't do a lot of long-term predictions is because they tend to screw people up, right? I know from my own personal journey through learning chartology and through learning technical analysis and through learning everything that I've learned to make me a consistently profitable trader today and teaching those exact same skills to everybody else, that it is often those are often the things that that throw people the most off. Why is the chat looking like that? Has the chat been looking like that all day? Only here, live on Cracking Cryptocurrency, guys. Oh, there we go. The best memes. The best professionalism. The best technical. The best OBS setup of all time. No glitches. No problems ever with the stream. No wrong button presses. Never on the stream. For example, trader Christmas bonus, not price, but based on theory of trading volume. Would it cause a drop in volatility or does it bottle it? So the more liquidity in a market, the less volatility is the rule. The more liquidity you have in a market, the deeper the order books are, the more willing buyers and sellers you have at every individual data point, i.e. price point. And that reduces volatility. The weekends are highly volatile in cryptocurrency because there is most traders who are trading stocks and Forex are not trading on the weekends. This is why you can see increased volatility. The London Open on Monday, 2 a.m. This is why you can see increased volatility Sunday evening when the CMEs open up and when the Forex markets open up, because that is when a lot of traders return to the market. But you often, again, don't really see the big move until Monday morning, Tuesday morning. That's when positions have been established, stop losses have been triggered, and then large movers in the market take price the direction that they want to take it. So at the same time, that increased liquidity with a strong directional bias does mean price appreciation. So, Christmas generally is not a good time for the markets because people are buying gifts, they're buying presents, they're going on vacations, they're doing all this kind of stuff. They're not buying stocks, they're not adding to their investments generally. And this is because just most people don't take their investments very seriously. If I got a Christmas bonus, that would go right into the market because that's me. I've been doing this, for a long time. Like for years, I've saved half of all my active income and put it into the markets. And I think that's how you get from I don't have any money to I live off my investments in 5 years. You have to make the sacrifice to say, I'm going to eat, this is how I did it. I'm going to eat ramen. I'm going to eat rice and beans. I'm going to go work a job I hate. And I'm going to take half my money and I'm going to put it in the market every single month. As we were saying in the analyst channel the other day, talking to my good Canadian friend, I was like, do you know what you guys have in Canada that we'll never have here in America? And the answer was healthcare? No. Not if you're saving up to live off your investments. Healthcare is not an option. What's the difference between DLive and Twitch? Twitch is they're both live streaming platforms, but DLive is a decentralized network built on the Linode platform. So, it runs off of blockchain technology. It's powered by Linode. By the Linode blockchain. And I had a great opportunity to sit down with Charles, the founder of DLive. Fantastic conversation. Charles, thank you so much for the support, for the shout out. By the way, sent you guys an email, still waiting to hear back from you so we can give away these DLive dice, so we can give away that Linode hat and Ledger Nano. We have a Ledger Nano to give away as well. So thank you guys so much for the support over here on DLive. Okay, let's try the chest again, guys. This is your 1 minute warning. I'm going to open up the chest. So if you guys want to do the thing where you guys go all crazy right before I open up the chest, this is your opportunity. 60 seconds on the clock and counting. I'm going to spend some more time playing over here. Thank you so much for the diamond, my friend. He says, we love crypto on DLive. Thank you so much, man. Highly appreciated. Zmogus, thanks so much for the lemon. I think I read that right. Again, I'm going to put up another desk right here and bring the monitor closer so I can see it. Whee! Let's get a little closer here on Bitcoin's price action. A couple deep dives so this is the lower time frames. After a fairly decent sell-off yesterday, we had a little bit of appreciation. Steep move to the downside. We've got 2 deep dives down into liquidity right here, down into demand. I do think that the movement here is upwards. Now, whether we see something small and short-lived like this, or whether this is us bottoming out again, we are kind of coming down into a more significant level of demand right here. As we can see, we are at the bottom of the trading range. We'll see if we're going to get shifter stabs down, but again, we do got some pretty deep wicks down. Some pretty deep wicks down, followed by a higher low, and now we're just again saddling above the baseline. Again, all the opportunities are here for the reversal baseline bounce and taking price to the upside. Buy zone here is 92.01 down to, what is that, 91.80? Yeah, 91.80. So pretty tight buy zone right here. Got the opportunity right here. See if we get another opportunity, and looking for that nice crack above 92.20. Yeah. All right, let's go open up that chest, guys. Robin from the Hood has apparently gone Super Saiyan. What do I need to do to be in on this? Midwest Attempt says. So the way I understand it, he says, you're going to show your chest. You guys don't want that. Maybe you do. I don't know. It's a thing. The way that DLive works is if you chat, if you donate, lemons or other lemons, ice cream, diamonds, ninja guineas, or ninjets, which are DLive's. DLive's, what's the word I want to look for here? They're crypto assets based on DLive, the DLive application on the Linode blockchain. They're not actually Linode. They're convertible. They're tradable into Linode. So if you do those things, if you engage in chat, if you donate, you do things like that. Basically, DLive tracks what you do, and then what I'm allowed to do is toss stuff into the treasure chest, and that treasure chest gets opened, and all of that stuff gets distributed back out. So it allows me to reward you guys for supporting the stream. So it's kind of like a lottery, right? Like, you know, everybody chips in $1 when they toss a couple lemons, and then, you know, I stack the lemons up in the chest, and then I open up the chest and I redistribute that stuff back out to you guys. And here we go. Thank you guys so much for the love over here. And here we go, distributing rewards. And 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, yeah, sure. If you Google Linode coin, it asks, did you mean Bitcoin? So Google is pro Bitcoin. Boom. There we go. Luckiest followers. Peckham27, you just got 18 lemons, my friend. Stone Crypto, 10.8. For Tony Rumble with 8. We got Okie Native, 6.6. And Wendy 2, 5.7 lemons. Congratulations, guys. Thank you guys so much for the support, for the love. Have I talked about XRP yet? Looks like a 30% swell, then a 10% sell-off. I guess no major breakthroughs on XRP fundamentals. We did talk about XRP, but only as a stepping point to talk about the difference between investing in crypto tokens and where your mind needs to be on token economics, and investing in companies where your mind should be on the fundamentals of the company. So let's look at, we did look at XRP. XRP had a big sell-off. As we can see right here, here's that pretty big sell-off, deep dive down. Let's go to the daily over here so we can analyze this a little bit better. You know, what it is interesting about this as well is holding above the baseline, right? Holding above the baseline, deep dive down into the buy zone right here. The buy zone coming in between. I don't want to get this wrong. I just can't see these numbers. I'm going to have to move the monitor closer. But in between the trade qualifying line and in between the baseline, as we can see right here. The only thing that we are trying to overcome right here, let's see if we can track an origin order block back. That seems fair, also consistent. This is a little bit more horizontal support and resistance. We have resistance over here before this is converted into a bullish breaker. We can see the breaker somewhat hold right here until it's converted into a bearish breaker. And yeah, we're just tapping up against this bearish breaker. But again, what I do like about XRP from a technical perspective is deep dive down. So drive down into demand, price appreciation, breaking the baseline, putting us in bullish territory. And again, we saw this deep dive down. We saw this exact same thing right over here, steep dive down, price appreciation, and forming higher lows, forming higher lows, guys, as we're tapping against this bearish breaker. So this is more the price action that I talk about when we form this is starting to look like some NFL shit, but holding a higher low, right? So we have the low from the drive down into demand. We have the high, and we are holding higher lows above the median of this range, right? Median of this range is going to be right around here. We're holding higher lows above that median. That is what I like to see. That is the price action setup that I like to see for a breakout. Needless to say that everything on PTP is telling us we should be looking for long trades by stint of being above the baseline. And again, this is a drive back down into the buy zone. So I think that savvy traders will add to their positions right here. I think savvy traders will add to their positions right here and get a better average entry. PTP long did signal the long over here on this candle right here. So in a little bit of drawdown as we speak right now. So we'll just see how this plays out. But this being a retreat back into the buy zone with where we're at, consolidating underneath resistance after multiple taps, this definitely looks more bullish than bearish. And I think the major dollar pairs are bullish. So XRP is going to follow right along. XRP and Bitcoin are not negatively correlated anymore. We can go check Enroid out for that. We'll go over here and look at correlations at enroid.com. XRP. Man, is this website on the blockchain? Because it's loading slow. Oh! Got him. Mihao, thank you so much for the 4 lemons, my friend. Peckham7, have I seen a gem? Others have not. Ravencoin is Antminer compatible now. Price surge incoming? Do you think? I like Ravencoin. Thank you so much, Peckham. Highly appreciated. He says he did want to say he's watched a month of streams from CryptoTube, never bought or donated anything until today on DLive, only for Kraken Crypto. Thank you so much, my friend. Highly appreciated. Wayne Art, we will check out Zcash, yes. Yeah, Robin from the Hood says, I kind of like this platform as well. Would also be more willing to donate knowing it does not go to YouTube and Google. That's true, man. That's true. Smash those likes, crypto fam. Okay, let's go to... Okay, here we go. We have XRP, BTC correlation. So as we can see, they are positively correlated. XRP and BTC are positively correlated. I mean, almost topping the charts. We're at 0.566 on the correlation coefficient. So this is they're going to move. Their dollar pairs are going to move in conjunction with each other. Let's look for what are we the most tightly correlated with right now. Tron, Zcoin, Ethereum, Loopring, Strat, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Digibyte, ETN, Nano Dash, Nasdaq. I'm looking for specifically interesting. So interesting. As you can see, our stellar lumens historically is extremely highly correlated to Bitcoin's price. But over the last 7 days, we've seen this nice explosion in stellar lumens price, and XRP has not followed along. That's another reason I think that XRP will follow along with XLM actually, because of its historical correlation. XLM and XRP are highly historically correlated. So one moves, the other follows. One moves, the other follows. But definitely go check out enroid.com out if you're looking for a little bit more nuance to your crypto trading. Bitcoin is forming the 2 girls, 1 cup formation. You know what that means. Have I considered using Streamlabs for donations so I get almost all of the money and YouTube gets cut out of the scenario? Also, if you register with a BAT token, I'd like to donate all my grant tokens to you. Well, thank you, Wayne. I am a verified Brave publisher, so you can already go ahead and do that. Doesn't matter whether you're on YouTube or whether you go to our website or Twitch. They're all set up to go to our BAT wallet. Highly appreciate that, my friend. And I guess the only reason, so I'm not a huge fan. I got to be very careful about what I say because they will shadow ban my videos quick. You know, I'm definitely into better ways to, you know, listen. we do two separate things. We do the show and we do the premium trading group. Each of those things, I have to employ people and I have to be able to, I live off of my trading. I do the group to help people and to get a team together for my, just to make the space better, right? It enriches my life and makes my life better. That needs to be able to cover the salaries of all my employees so that I can provide good service to our customers, so I can provide good service to our members, so I can build and continue to do everything that I'm doing over there. The same thing with the channel, right? I don't cross streams, right? So the everything that I can do to help monetize this time and make and improve the stream is going to help. It would allow me to bring on more graphic designers. It's going to allow me to bring on more videographers. It's going to allow me to bring on more programmers. Everything that I can do to make the stream better for your to deliver the content better to you guys and to make everything just better. So if if anybody has more information on how to do that in a good way, I would definitely be okay with that. It's not showing me your basic attention token on YouTube. Definitely should. Don't really know how to do that. I've got, actually I have Brave Browser right here, so let's go check it out. Yeah, it's right here. Brave Verified Creator, send a tip. So all you do is you go to, you got to go to the banner page, I think. So just go to yt.krakencryptocurrency.com and then you click the bat triangle up here and you just send a tip. Does it work on the actual video? Yeah, right here. Should work, brother. That's weird watching myself with a little bit of a repeat loop right there. Okay. What are my thoughts on EOS? I don't have any really positive or negative thoughts. I do have some long-term positions in EOS. I think it makes sense. It's one of the stronger coins, one of the most popular coins. I like what EOS and ADA are trying to do from a programmatic level. I approach everything from Bitcoin is king. So I don't think that any of these are going to overtake Bitcoin. Obviously EOS and Cardano are going to be more competitors to Ethereum. EOS is a little bit more unique. Cardano is really focusing on having its, provably correct programming language, which I think is pretty neat. But that's really more important to people who are really into the development in the space. And but again, they do have a good hype machine, which is what you want. If you're looking at price appreciation, the project that you're looking at, you want to be able to say, oh, they got a good media team, they got a good hype team, because that's, again, people buy based off of emotion generally. Very few people trade the way that we trade, based off of discipline, logic, and statistics. Infinite mirror loop in trading view. Let's do I wanted to look at Zcash before we go. Zcash, I was actually interested with Zcash last night. Again, same scenario. Here is the, here's the initial long signal on Zcash right here. Does put us in for a profitable trade on this wick. And we have had a continuation entry right here on this candle. So one would be long on Zcash. We are still in the buy zone between the baseline and the trade qualifying line. As long as we hold this level, I think this is pretty good. Again, exact same scenario. We're in breakout scenarios on a lot of these coins. We've had accumulation. We've had these deep dives down. Now we're moving sideways above the baseline, which changes things. But what have we done here? Here's the low, a drive down into demand. Here's the high, tap on resistance. Where is that resistance coming from? I bet we can find it if we just go back a little bit. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? No, it's really being formed by this order block right here, which again, this is less of an order block and just more of horizontal support and resistance, which is where we're currently trading in right now. Haven't broken up above that range. So we do really want to see a nice strong daily close above $40.50. That's what we really want to see for a classical breakout. But again, we're in the buy zone to preempt that. And as long as we maintain above $37, yeah, $37 and like 11 cents, which is where our baseline is, then again, we are in the buy zone right now. Got rejected by the trade qualifying line, and now we're in just right back in that buy zone. But we're holding that higher low. We're holding that higher low above the median of that area. It's actually a little lower than the median. We can move that up a little bit. Yeah, right, pretty much right where the baseline's at is representing the median, which is exactly what the baseline is designed to do. Yeah, this looks decent. We haven't seen the volume come in. We haven't seen the volume spike. That's going to come again, closing above this level of resistance. But good. And again, we are in a continuation scenario. We're in a continuation scenario on ZEC right now. I would expect most likely with the other dollar pairs to droop a little bit more here and actually probably get a cross under with 1 or 2 more days of either flat or a little bit of sell off. But again, as I said, buy zone. And Quadrigo for stop and target. The only other things that kind of jump out at me are obviously going to be previous highs. With that being said, guys, welcome back to the Wide Shot, guys. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another fantastic episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. I've been your host, Justin Wise. I am the lead analyst and co-founder around these parts. Big shout out to my team. Big shout out to everybody watching across YouTube, Twitch, DLive, and Facebook Live. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Highly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for all the support, for all the love, for showing up every day and supporting us and allowing us to do what we do on this channel. It has come to my attention that some of you get very anxious when we go offline. So if you would like to not feel that feeling of anxiety, make sure to hop in the Discord so we can keep the conversation and the show rolling even when we're offline. That's discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Link is in the description down below. And if you are if you are interested in joining our team, if you are interested in trading right along with us, make sure to check out the banner right here or the first link in the description down below, premium.krakencryptocurrency.com, to start taking those first steps toward financial freedom. Thank you guys so much for all the requests, for all the love, for all the support. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, leave them in the comment section down below, as well as your thoughts on today's show. Tell me what you learned. Tell me what you agree with me on. Tell me what you disagree with me on over on YouTube. And we will pick a random commenter tomorrow for our crypto comment giveaway, which we do every single day on this channel. Other than that, news, updates. We're going to make a... I do know, Mr. Ether. Highly appreciated, man. Wally says, combat anxiety with the CC Discord. A lot better than Klonopin, I'll tell you that. Again, I want to make a big push to try to get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. And then I want to start focusing on our streaming community and building all of that up. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Again, kind of interested about that. Somebody had mentioned something about utilizing Streamlabs instead of YouTube Super Chats. So if you guys have any information on that, please hit me up in the Discord or send an email to contact@krakencryptocurrency.com. Always looking for ways that I can provide more value to you guys. So let me know, by the way, guys, what you would like me to fill the wall up with over here as we kind of redo the stream. And I will be back tomorrow. Same crypto time, same crypto network at 12 p.m. noon Central Standard Time, because it is no longer daylight savings time. Trade safely, guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Be good. That was not the button. Where was there's supposed to be a dramatic, where's the earth-shattering kaboom? There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.